Hey, how are you? Welcome to the Coronacast. This is the first and possibly only episode of the podcast where I will be giving you guys inside information on what is going on with the coronavirus in China. Today's guest is, I don't even know if he wants me using his real name, but what you need to know is that he was one of my first friends in China. He's from Liverpool, aka he's a scouser, and I think he's drunk for this entire interview. But yeah, he is stranded right now in Guangzhou, China. He's married to a Chinese woman, and he's going to just tell us what is going down on the ground in China. Without any further ado, let's begin. Hello.
Yeah, hello, you prick.
Are you there?
Fucking take them fucking glasses off, you God's sake.
No, I got to keep them on. I can hear you all right.
Yeah, I can see you, but you still look like a prick.
Oh, I know. I mean, I can't change that. So how has China changed since the coronavirus came on the scene?
Oh, mate. Okay, well, I made a decision that I was gonna stay here for as long as possible.
Smart decision.
You know my wife. You know my wife's
Yeah.
Chinese. You know me. You know she's crazier than all of us. So we went to her hometown. We were in Liverpool for Christmas because if you don't know, I'm from Liverpool,
Yeah,
which is
I'm well aware.
next to England. You're well aware.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm not.
like,
I'm not British. I'm from Liverpool.
So we went to Liverpool for a few weeks, which was great, and then we flew back, and then we had a couple of weeks here, and then we went to her hometown, and usually her hometown is, wow, mate, to tell you what, her hometown is kicking. There's so much stuff going on. Chinese New Year, it's fucking great. And this year I turned up with you know Neil.
Yeah.
You know, Neil Lawrence, but mate, I turned up with Neil. I promised him the best time, and man, it was fucking shit. There was no people there. Like family meals were cancelled, all the bars were done, and it was like the beginning of this apocalypse that's just come on. So we came back from our hometown, and we got back into Guangzhou after like 3 days, and it's just on lockdown. I mean, I'm you think it's like, it is a bit like some sort of apocalypse movie. All the streets are closed. There's no cars coming down. There's nothing. It's just like, you can still go to shop. You can still go to 7-Eleven. You can still go and get your mixes. You can still go and get your 3 Fantas and your 3 beers. You can still go and do all that shit. Shout out to you, by the way, 3 Fantas, because I'm doing it. But
Love it.
it's man, it's just dead. And don't get me wrong, I wear the mask. You know, I trick people into believing that I'm Chinese, but it's just dead. It's what do you do?
So,
There's not,
so I know in Shanghai, all of these schools are closed for the month of February. Is that the case in Guangzhou?
Mate, same in Guangzhou. So there's just been an announcement. My wife's a teacher. I don't know how she gets away with it, but my wife's a teacher that, you know, they're not open until March. There's someone I could mention that that I know. I don't know if I can mention the name. It begins with a K and it ends in M.
And it ends with a Kim?
Yeah, there you go. Like, but don't say that. Don't say that word out loud. So there you go. And she's been told that it's not even going to fucking open again until April. I mean,
Wow.
that's like a quarter of the year done and dusted.
I know. And like, are like the people who are working as teachers even going to get paid?
I mean, people who work as teachers, I mean, do they deserve to get paid?
Not always. I mean, there was a teacher in Shanghai. He was on America's 10 most wanted list, and he had been working as a teacher in Shanghai for 10 years. He was getting paid for 10 years. One of the most wanted criminals in the entire United States. So not all teachers really deserve to get paid, but there are some good ones out there.
Oh, mate, that makes me laugh. I mean, man, it's fucking. There's teachers here who aren't going to work for a quarter of the year, and the thing is, can they stick it out? Can they stay here? Can they do what they need to do? I don't know. Can they go home and then come back? It's not bothering me at the moment because I've just been out, so I'm not bothered. But I don't know. We'll see.
And what about non-teaching jobs? Are some of those canceled as well?
What kinds of jobs are they? I don't know.
Just like, what about? So you said so you said the convenience stores and stuff are still open in Guangzhou, but are there just a lot of businesses that have closed?
I thought you meant something else. Okay, so yeah, you've still got the 7-Eleven woman who's bending over backwards to save you. You've still got I've just been out. You guys have got like Uber, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so in China we've got something called Didi.
Yep.
And Didi means little brother, which is like them characters there. So I haven't got a taxi thing on my arm, but like
you got the Uber of China logo tattooed on your arm.
I have
classy tattoo.
I have a thing on my arm. So in America, land of the free, yous have got Uber. We've got something called Didi. So Didi took me today 19.2 kilometers to the bar I was going to. Morgan's that used to be the tavern, yeah, in town.
Yeah.
So that took me 19.2 kilometers, and that was like 67 kwai, which is about $10.
Yep.
So we've still got that shit going on. We've got we can move about, we can do what we need to do. I go to the shop every day and buy water. The only thing I can't get is this is embarrassing. Butter, butter.
Yes. Yep. I know what butter is.
Guys, don't laugh at the accent. Butter.
Butter, yeah. Would you like some butter? I know what butter is. Butter.
Mate, don't start taking a bit. I've just watched you in fucking Namibia or Botswana or whatever the place
Zimbabwe.
You were. Well, like same.
Yeah. Okay.
And yeah, okay. So, mate, I bet you they haven't got butter there.
No, I think I definitely had some butter in Zimbabwe.
No, you didn't get butter. Anyway, I've been on the hunt for some butter. Like, I killed a zebra and I cleaned it out and all that. But mate, you know what I've been using instead of
butter?
I've been using some mustard and some red sauce. What would you call red sauce? I don't know. You
ketchup?
You Americans, what would you call sauce? Ketchup. Okay, so I call it red sauce. You call it ketchup. Mustard and red sauce. I've been mixing it in. And I've been putting it on sauce because I can't get fucking butter.
Why can't you find any butter? They don't.
Because mate, I don't know. It's just one of them things that if there's a zombie apocalypse,
that's the first thing to go.
It's the first thing to go. If you got the zombie apocalypse going on, what are you going to do? I'm not going to stock butter, and I can feel it. I can go with them. I feel what they're doing. So but the point is, every time I have a bacon butty every morning, it's so fucking spicy because of the mustard. It's like, oh man, this shit's doing my head in.
That's rough. It's probably because like USA and Australia have stopped shipping butter to China because of the coronavirus, and I don't think China makes its own butter.
Man, I mean, I don't think China appreciates butter.
No, they don't.
That it should do. I mean, you lived there for a while. I mean, did you find the butter situation like adequate to your needs, or?
Yeah, so up in Shanghai, they have a lot of foreign stores that import stuff from abroad, so I could always find some solid Irish butter there. But you said I used to live in China. I still live in China. I still have an apartment in Shanghai. It's the only apartment I have, and now I
can
can't.
I use it? Can I? Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to go use my apartment in Shanghai, it's all yours. I can't get back to China because USA has canceled most of the flights, and our government is saying, whatever you do, don't go to China. That place is fucked.
Yeah, the British government said whatever you do, don't go to China either. But everyone in China, we're just having a laugh. I mean, you know what?
Just having a laugh in fucking Wuhan where they're not even allowed to leave their apartments.
Man, I'm gonna get a puppy and call it Wuhan. I don't know.
I will. Have you ever been to Wuhan?
I've been for a football game,
All right.
and I don't even like either football team that played. So you know, football that's like played with your feet. You know, a proper football game. You guys would call it soccer. So a proper football game. Mate, I'm going to show you a picture. I'm going to put this picture
All
in.
right. What
This
did?
is this is. Oh, I don't know if I can. Can I put this picture on? I don't know.
Yeah, sure. I don't know.
Gringo's a little bit weird now and again. Can I?
Whoa. Who's
Do you
that?
see that?
Yeah. Who
Yeah,
is that?
so that's Gringo. That's how he's going out to the shops.
What? Hey, wait. And is he being serious or is he trying to have a laugh?
Right? There's some people who are taking it a bit more serious than others. What you see, what you see with me is what you get. But this is how Gringo is going to
Oh
the
my
shop.
God. Jesus. And he's being 100% serious. He's just worried about it, right?
100% serious. You know me. You know him. You know you've progressed a little bit there. I mean, look at you in your tan top. I don't know what
Yeah.
kind of top you wear.
I'm just it's a tan long sleeve shirt.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. Do you have a problem with that?
Well, I mean, I could have a problem with that, to be honest. I mean, like,
I'm sorry it's not red.
it's that. Well, I didn't even wear red specially. Am I okay to have a puff on this?
No, it's fine.
This isn't DMT or nothing. It's just,
I know it's a nicotine vape.
Have you been on that DMT vape yet?
No, I haven't tried it. I've heard about it. I heard it's a lot of fun.
Can we talk about that? I don't know.
Yeah, sure. We can talk about that.
Mate, you know my little brother because you met him in Thailand, yeah?
Yeah.
He's just bought a DMT vape.
Yeah.
And he said that it's one puff breakthrough to the extra dimension. I don't know if any of your listeners there know about DMT breakthroughs, but there's this stuff in England available now. And, as you know, Liverpool isn't England.
Yeah.
But they're getting 150 pounds breakthrough in a pen. And there's about 25 goals for people. I don't know.
25 trips to the fifth dimension. That sounds intense.
Well,
you probably just want to do maybe one a month or one a week.
Well,
or
I don't even know if it's 25 because he said it's like 150 pound, which is about in this day and age with Trump being a prick. Can I say prick? I don't know.
Yeah, you can say prick.
I can't say prick.
Yeah, it's fine.
With Trump being a bit of a bellend, a bit of a prick, 150 pounds is about $240 right now, and that will give you about 25, 30 goals into the unknown with a DMT pen.
All right. It's something I'd like to try. I don't know if I would do it for content and like film it because it would just be me probably just rolling on the ground, but I'll see.
Man, I will fly to you with a DMT pen and we film it us going through together. How about that one?
All right, sounds good.
Once I'm out of quarantine because...
Yeah. Dude, I don't think you're ever going to leave China now. I think you're just stuck in Smoggy Bottom for good.
Mate, can I just say to you, I've known you for a long time, and I don't know your listeners. I'm a big Liverpool FC fan, yeah.
Yeah.
And like Liverpool FC probably dictates everything that goes on with my life. So, we haven't won the Premier League, the league, for 30 years. So this year we've taken like 103 points out of 105,
Wait, I thought you
which
guys
is
won.
absolutely.
I thought you guys won last year.
Yeah, we won the European Cup last
Oh,
year. We
that's.
won what's called the Champions League,
Oh,
but
okay.
we haven't won the domestic league for 30 years.
All right.
So this year we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it so quick. But I can't fly home because if I do, I will face quarantine on the Whittle.
On the Whirl?
You know the Whittle.
The
On the
Whirl,
Whittle, that's where the quarantine hospital is, mate. The Whittle.
which is like a shitty area right outside of Liverpool, right?
There you go. There you
Yeah.
go. So even if I fly home to see this shit that I haven't seen for 30 years, I'll be stuck on the Whittle with Bill Eckel.
Well, you only have to be there for 2 weeks, though, right? So you just fly back 2 weeks early, spend 2 weeks in the Whirl, and then you can watch Liverpool.
Yeah, but if I'm flying home for 1 week and I get quarantined for 2 weeks, then they're just gonna send me back to China. Like this is well.
Well, they're not going to
So
send you back to China because I think you're clean. I don't think like how many cases of coronavirus are actually in Guangzhou?
I think there's about 400 cases at the moment, four to 500 cases. So, I mean, I live in an area called Panyu. You'll remember Panyu.
I used to live there.
And yeah, he
Happiest time of my life. Strawberry fields forever. I had a bunch of strawberry fields in front of my house. I love that place.
Oh, I remember it well. So there's a hospital called, you'll know it, Clifford Hospital. Yeah.
No, I never went to the hospital there.
You might not gone to the hospital, but you'll know Clifford Hospital. So there's a few people I know who go to Clifford Hospital, and they tell the doctors that they've got mental problems, and they just get a load of Prozac and a load of this and this and this, and they blag the hospital. They lie to the hospital. Anyway, this hospital last week went into lockdown because there was 10 cases in the hospital in one day, and then all of a sudden there was 5 nurses who got sick, and so the hospital's on lockdown with about 30 cases. So the doctors and the nurses are on lockdown, the hospital's on lockdown. Anybody who's been to the hospital in the last 2 weeks is being asked to come back, and that's on lockdown. But that's around the corner from me. But we don't think of like, oh, I haven't been to the hospital. I go out and I wear my mask. I go to the bar, people wear the mask. I go to the 7-Eleven, I buy me mixers, I get me vodka or my gin, and it's all good. But the likes of it's actually on my doorstep. In my compound called Jin Shangu, there's 13 or 14 cases, but there's 20,000 people who live in my compound. But maybe some of your listeners don't know how large compounds are, how many people live in this shit. So there's like 13, 14 people in my compound out of 20,000 people. What are you gonna do? So I'm just carrying on.
Yeah,
doing what I'm doing.
That's really all you can do. And you were saying that now are all bars forced to close like at 9 p.m.?
You know where I've just been? I've just been to Morgan's.
Yeah.
And I got to Morgan's about 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. And they said, 9 o'clock, all bars in Guangzhou closed. You have to go home. Police came at 9 o'clock, threw everyone out, started fucking piss testing people. I ran away. I ran the fuck away. Mate, done. All bars are closed for like 6 weeks. Like Guangzhou is on lockdown.
Wait, so were they piss testing you guys for weed or for the coronavirus?
Mate, for fucking anything they can get their hands on.
So are they
And
just
you know me, mate. I don't piss for the best of them. Every single place that's a gathering is being told to close at 9 o'clock tonight and not open until the foreseeable future.
so
So they
wow.
don't even know when they're going to reopen again.
Yeah, so now just like all the bars are going to be closed in Guangzhou.
Mate, that's an absolute first. All bars in China, all restaurants, all everything is closed at 9 tonight, which is, hang on, let me see that time, an hour and a half ago. So 90 minutes ago, everything's closed in China. All bar, like, you'll still get shops open, you'll still get 7-Elevens, you'll still get the shop where I can go and buy some, I don't know, lemons or whatever for me gin, but
Lemons for gin. Lemons aren't going to get you too far in the fucking zombie apocalypse.
you don't see them.
So is like a slice of lemon in your glass of gin, is that the only fruit or vegetable that you've been eating these days?
Well, that's me 5 a day.
Okay. Five lemon slices. A lot of nutrients. Wow. So yeah, I don't know if you could hear him, but yeah, all bars and restaurants in Guangzhou are now closed for the foreseeable future,
Well,
which is crazy. So if you actually own a place, you're fucked. So what is you know a lot of guys who actually own bars out there, and what are they going to do?
I spoke to the owner of Morgan's before, and he said that they've probably made about 30% of the rent this month, because the rent can be, I don't know. I don't know what the rent is over where you are. Where are you based, by the way? Are you in?
I mean,
Are
right
you in?
now I'm literally homeless. So cuz I'm supposed to be based in Shanghai, but I can't go home. So I'm literally just pretty much
If you do rent the homeless, where are you right now? I mean, are you in Boston? Are you in New York? I don't know.
I'm in New York.
Yeah, I'm in New York, dude. I'm in New York.
I'm a New Yorker now.
Okay, so
You want some coffee?
I don't know what your rent is there, but their rent here for a bar is about $8,000, $9,000 a month, and they've made about 30% of their rent this month, and
Yeah.
they're getting closed down. I mean, what can you do? I think a business is going to fold. I hate saying get on this. I've learned a new phrase, F&B, food and beverage. I fucking hate being like, oh,
F&B.
the F&B scene is going down.
Yes, I saw a headline in like a Chinese magazine. It was like the coronavirus is a doomsday event for the F&B scene in Shanghai.
Yeah. Well, you know the guy who makes that magazine, and he keeps saying F&B, and I feel like I'm sending a message saying F&B off, like stop. Like,
F&B off. So have you ever considered just like fucking off to Thailand, or has Thailand banned all flights from China?
okay, this is where I get a little bit a little bit serious,
Oh, sure.
because as you know, the better half of me is my wife,
Oh,
which
yep.
is what's her name?
Miyabi.
My Abby.
Yeah.
And she is the absolute lifeblood of everything I do. She is just perfection. Like, I don't mind saying it in front of everyone. This girl can take the piss out of me, can do what she wants. She's brilliant. But because she is a little bat eater, they won't let her into Thailand.
Jesus Christ, Steve. Jesus. Okay. Yeah. That was poetic. Yeah. So no. Yeah, you're right. Thailand is really trying to close. Like they're. I don't think they're allowing flights from China.
Well, they are, but I mean, the problem is, like, if she wants to go into Thailand, she's got to have this health certificate. But to get the health certificate, you've got to go to a hospital, and you've got to spend all day there, because I don't know in America, but in America, I'm supposing it's the same as Britain. If you're a little bit sick, you don't go to the hospital. You go to the doctor's surgery, yeah?
Yeah.
But in China, as you know, you have to go to the hospital because there's no doctor's surgeries. So if she wanted the health certificate, she's got to go to fucking hospital, which means because I'm her husband, I have to go to the hospital with her. And 50% of the cases that are passed on here, the coronavirus cases, are passed on in hospitals. Now, if she wants to go to Thailand, she's got to go to hospital, get a health certificate, which means she's got to wait there for about 48 hours. You know, this healthcare system is worse than fucking your healthcare system with Trump. If Trump was there for 24 years, China would still have a worse healthcare system than you fucking
Okay.
people. I nearly swore it. Than
Us
you people?
people? Us people? How dare you call Americans
Yeah,
us people?
I was going to say something else, but I won't.
Okay.
But she can't go and get one because then it's got to be translated into Thai, and then the Thai place is closed, and you've got to spend all day doing this. And I'd just rather have a couple of drinks
Yeah.
and say,
Well, hey, I'm very proud of you for staying behind with your wife, because my friend recently flew to the U.S. and his Chinese girlfriend wasn't allowed in. She had to stay in China because unless you have immediate family in the U.S., then they're not like allowing Chinese people in. But if you have like, you know, if your Chinese brother lives in the U.S. or if your husband is in the U.S., then you're allowed to come in. But she wasn't allowed to come in because they're just boyfriend, girlfriend, and not married.
What do you think about that? How do you feel about this?
I mean, I think it's good that China's taking precautions, I guess, but I just have no idea when I'm going to be able to go back. But you're right. Like, I think if I went back to Shanghai right now, I'm not worried about getting the coronavirus. I think I'd be fine. It would just be so boring because they've closed down a lot of stuff in Shanghai too. So I would just be pretty much cooped up in my apartment all day, drinking gin and lemons.
That's Donnie. That's basically the thing. I mean, you know, we here. I'm not overly concerned about catching some sort of virus. I think it's a big thing around the world. I think if I look at the British media or the American media, I think it's this big, massive thing. But sitting in the middle of it, like it's I don't know, can I say that? I don't know. It just doesn't seem to be as big here as it does there. So
well, that's because the media there isn't even like allowed to report on it. So you have to take that into account.
Hey, hang on. Just like, how dare you say this about the Chinese media? What are you talking about? How dare you say this?
No, but like, there's a lot of people in the U.S. who think that China is underreporting the amount of people who have been killed by the virus, and they say it's been like 1,000 people, when in reality it could be 13,000 people.
I mean, who's gonna know? I mean,
yeah.
Like, what are you gonna do? Like, you're never gonna know. The point is, here I've still got 7-Elevens open. I've still got, you know, have you got a delivery system where they deliver food? We call it Meituan.
Yeah, we have one up in Shanghai.
Okay, so you know, okay, but in America they've got one. They deliver food. You pick it up in the restaurant and they deliver it. So now they don't deliver it to your door. They deliver it to the
gate.
Place where, the gate. Thanks for telling me the word gate.
Yeah.
So, you know, you've still got all this shit going on. Like, up until tonight, you've still got bars open. You know, life's been going on. I mean, I've still got to go and buy. Let me tell you, I've still got to go buy toilet paper because I still need to shit.
Wow.
And the toilet paper is still. You can still buy it. You can still buy bleach. You can still buy. You know, I've got masks here. I've got. What else have I got? I've got a fridge. I've got lots of water. I've got, you know, apart from butter, I'm pretty much sorted.
All right. So maybe I'll get some people listening to the podcast to mail you sticks of butter. We'll have a big like campaign to get, and people are just going to be putting butter in the mail, and you're going to get just melted butter just arriving to your front doorstep.
Man, if people could mail me butter.
Operation Butter Drop. Operation Get Steve Butter.
I don't know. I don't even know if I'd be arrested for that or what. You know what I mean? You know, like, how do you feel living outside China after you? I mean, how long were you were here for? Like 5, 6 years?
Yeah,
5
and
years?
I still live in China. I'm just not. I can't go back there at the moment.
So can you tell me what's the view outside China of what's going on inside China?
No, you are right. Like, there's the U.S. media has been reporting on this a bunch, and really, like, people in the U.S. don't have to worry about it, like, at all. And I had a friend out in California, and California reported like 2 cases, and he started freaking out. He was like, "I'm just gonna lock myself in my apartment. I just bought a microwave and like a bunch of microwavable food, and I'm just gonna hang inside and smoke weed." And I'm like, dude, you are losing your mind. You have absolutely nothing to worry about in California. I think he was scared because there were a bunch of people from the U.S. in Wuhan that the U.S. flew to California, and now they're in quarantine for a couple weeks.
Wow, serious? Yeah.
Yeah, because like so. The U.S. government like wanted to get its citizens out of Wuhan, and so they chartered a flight, flew them out in the middle of the night, and now since they have arrived in the U.S., they haven't been able to interact with the public. They've just been doing a 2-week quarantine.
Mate, I seen do you know the Guardian newspaper
Yes.
in Britain?
Yep.
So if you look through the Guardian newspaper, there's a guy who's on quarantine.
Yeah.
He got something from Wuhan, and he's done his diary, and it's been uploaded. It's on the Guardian, and the biggest thing he's complained about is the breakfast.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he said the first 3 days were like a proper English breakfast with bacon and eggs and black pudding and this and this, and then someone complained. And it turned into a continental breakfast, which is like
yeah, I know about a continental.
You'll know.
Yeah,
you've been around the world. Like, so that may be some of the biggest fears that British people have when they go into quarantine. What's going to be for breakfast? I don't know.
Well, I tell you what, I'm sure he at least has some butter in quarantine.
Fuck him.
Yeah, fuck him then. Fuck him. He's complaining, and he's got butter. When we got people in Guangzhou, it's the great butter drought of 2020.
Got butter. I want to go in quarantine. Like, what a
can you get some cheese?
Yeah, I've got some cheddar. I've got some cheddar in the fridge.
But I tell you what, I think there's a lot of people when that video leaked of someone in Wuhan eating bat soup, that really freaked out people in the U.S. And, like, I don't know if that's what caused it, but it's almost made people, like, in the U.S., it's probably kind of, like, stoked some racism, because then when the video leaks of the lady eating bat soup, they're just like, oh, fucking Chinese. They're, like, absolute savages. They're going to get us all sick because they're eating their bat soup.
Yeah, man, let me just say this. Whoever the blazes eats bat soup, they deserve what the fuck they get. I mean, seriously, there's so much soup on offer. There's tomato soup, there's chicken soup, there's chickpea soup. There's all sorts of soups you can do without resorting to bat. You agree? Like, seriously?
Yeah.
But the stuff that went on with all this bat shit. That was actually that main video that went viral. That was actually from what's the place? It's called. It begins with I and ends in Indonesia. It was actually from Indonesia.
All right, see,
so
that's how fake news gets spread.
It was. I mean, well, as far as I know, it was from Indonesia, and it was a Chinese family on holiday, and they were eating bat soup in Indonesia. Now, I'm not saying Chinese people don't eat bat soup, but I've never seen anyone eat bat soup.
Yeah.
You've never seen anyone eat bat soup, and you've been to you've been to far more out there places than I have.
Yeah, and I've been like on the lookout for weird foods in China, and I had never heard of the bat soup. But
like, if there was anyone who could find weird food, it's gonna be you.
yeah,
it's gonna be you. Sorry, I'm just.
But yeah, the problem still is like in Wuhan they have these wildlife markets where you just have like all different types of animals like that are just for sale, and there's no reason to have a wildlife market.
I seen there was animals I don't even know the name of. Like there was
armadillos, raccoons, like
what gets me is that
senators.
Someone said koalas. I mean,
oh yeah,
how have they got a koala from the outback in Australia and brought it to Wuhan and put it in a cage? Is that true? I mean, I don't know whether they actually had koalas.
I wouldn't be surprised.
But that was big. I mean, you know what? You know and I know. It wouldn't surprise me. I wouldn't be like, oh, everyone, guess what? They just had a koala there. However, it would surprise me if there was a koala there, because it'd be like, how are you getting that from the middle of Australia and putting it in a market in Wuhan in a cage? Mate, they had animals there that I wouldn't even know what the fuck they were called.
Yes.
So, yes, they're weird, but you know, look at my wife. You've known Abby probably as long as I've known Abby, my wife.
Yeah.
Like she's not that weird, is she? To be honest.
No, she's not that weird.
She's a little bit weird.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can't judge all Chinese people just because of one wildlife market in Wuhan. So yeah, I mean, I went to Wuhan once. I didn't love it. It was kind of just like a giant construction site. Yeah, you know, pray for the people of Wuhan.
I went for football once, and I'll never go again. But you know, I'll never go streets around the corner from me again. I'm quite a simple bloke.
Yeah, they had.
I like the Ron Swanson of Guangzhou.
You're the Ron Swanson.
The Ron Swanson of Guangzhou. I know what I want to eat. I know where I want to go.
Yep.
I know what I want to do. Everything else can just.
So one of the animals that they had in Wuhan was a pangolin. Have you ever heard of those?
I don't know. Seriously, I mean, did we have a penguin in Wuhan?
No, it wasn't a penguin. It was a pangolin.
Oh, a pangolin. Oh, you see, I never even knew what a pangolin was before all this weirdness went down. I don't know.
I didn't either.
Like,
a
pangolin is. I mean, it looks like a little armadillo. I don't know.
You're right. It sort of looks like that. See, it all can be traced back to Chinese medicine, because that shit, like, they think, oh, if you grind up the scale of a pangolin, it will cure your heartburn. Like, they just have all these, like, and so my friend's dad was actually in China for work, and this guy, he brought out a bear paw, and he made bear paw soup. And he goes, oh yeah, like I've been trying to get my hands on a bear paw for years. And then he starts to eat the soup, and his nose bleeds. His nose starts bleeding after eating bear paw soup, and he goes, oh, that's how you know the soup's really good. It's like your nose should not be bleeding after eating soup. So
I'm sorry. I shouldn't laugh.
No, but they think all these weird animals, like they think rhino horn can cure cancer, and that's why there's like barely any rhinos left these days.
Man, tiger dick can give you the hard on. The last time
okay, now that part's true. Now that part's true. Tiger dick will give you a rock hard boner.
Well, I'm not talking about pussycat being delivered to the door. You know, like I'm talking like they do have some weird. But in saying that, I go to Abby's hometown, and it's not unlike that whatsoever.
No, yeah.
But she's in what you'd know as a third tier city.
Yeah, I was recently in a third tier city where I met up with Pongzai. Did you ever see that video? Pongzai,
Man, yeah,
he's the
I
Chinese
seen
guy
him- I
who
seen him the
drinks.
other day.
Yeah.
He was a cool dude. He was a cool dude.
He's the man. And like, I loved all the people like in that city. So it's not like if you go to rural China or third tier China that everybody's just killing koalas and sucking tiger dicks.
Yeah, I mean, I've yet to go to one of them places where they would forcibly drink the fucking saliva of a tortured fucking koala or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I've never seen it either.
Yeah, but I mean, I tell you what, when we used to go to, for example, Darsha. Remember Darsha?
I don't think so.
You know, like, okay, so it's between where I live now and it's between where Neil lives, and there used to be dogs' heads hanging in the window.
Oh, I
So,
did see
yeah.
dogs in Guangzhou once.
That's about as weird as it gets. There's no koalas. There's no the other thing you've just said. There's no
Pangolins.
anteaters. There's no pangolins.
Hey, well, thanks for chatting. I'll try to check in with you next week.
Mate, whenever whenever I've oiled myself up in the bars. Well, there's no bars left, but
Okay.
I have got a bottle of gin left. But mate, it's been an absolute. We don't do this often enough. It's a pleasure to speak to you, sir.
I know we hadn't talked in person in probably over a year or two.
One day we'll have to tell everyone how we met.
Yes.
That Halloween.
Oh yeah. I've sort of hinted at it before, but I don't think I've ever told people the full story.
We'll get there one day, buddy. It's an absolute pleasure, mate. Thank you very much.
The pleasure was all on this side of the TV screen.
Mate, give me some virus.
All right. Okay. Stay strong. Don't get the corona.
You do that.
All right. Cut the feed.